Hey, g'day, this is Simon. How you doing? I'm out and about today. I think I'm about to have a leg cramp. So I'm on my way down to the Gold Coast. I've actually been inactive for 3 or 4 days now. I had an adverse reaction to vaccination. It was really actually alarming. It was pretty bad. So for the last 4 days I've been prone to these horrible intensifying leg cramps. At first the doctor was concerned it was a real medical emergency like the DVT scenario, which is like 1 in 80,000. The likelihood after surviving my narrow odds cancer, it'd be some sort of cosmic joke, I reckon. But apparently I had to do a special scan called a Doppler scan to exclude the DVT, and they found no evidence of clots. So it's basically these really awful muscle spasms, and it's only in the lower calves, my legs. So it's not necessarily the vaccine per se. It might be dehydration contributed by the vaccine, but I'm drinking plenty of water, mate. But whatever it is, I got vaccinated and I've been having these horrible cramps for the last 4 days. I thought they were abating, but it feels like I could get another one. Anyway, plenty of walking will help with that, I reckon. So I'm on my way down to the Gold Coast. This time taking the train. Walking would be another sign of my mental decline, I reckon. So I've been invited to visit a lovely group of oncology parents. So these are people directly affected by pediatric cancer, and they wrote to me asking if I'd visit. They've got some sort of a meeting on today, so I'm on my way down for that. Secondary to that, I had a daily donor dare of doom to give 100 hugs. And I'd been sort of strategizing around that, and I've actually found out that we've criminalized hugging. So if I attempted that dare, I'd be exposed to either a one-off $1,300 fine for disregarding public health directives, or even 130 grand, because it could be 1.3 thousand per hug, according to one kind person on Reddit who gave me the heads up. So I've been trying to think of alternatives in the spirit of the dare, and maybe I'll just need to hold that one over until the COVID concerns have sort of relaxed a little bit. I don't want to frighten anybody. I want to respect everybody. I want us all to find a place of respect and cooperation and consensus and all of those lovely things. So I don't want to feed into any alarm. But yeah, horrible leg cramps as a result of my own vaccination dose, and only better when I walk around. So thankfully, Captain Australia's Big Walk. It's for the Kids Cancer Project, and it's all about the science to resolve pediatric cancer in our lifetimes. Blurb done. So I'm on my way down to the Gold Coast, and when I get down there I'll do a few little streams, show you the beach, and I don't think I'll be able to do my hug 100 people, but on the train I'll see if I can dream up an alternative there that is still in that same spirit. And yeah, I'll be completely off the air in the middle of the day as I meet this oncology parenting group. I don't want to stream any of that or whatever. We'll protect their privacy. I'm a little bit, I don't know, I feel both a sense of like reverence for it, because the strength that you would have to move forward after having a child diagnosed or losing a child to cancer is monumental. And also just this aching sort of sympathy. Anyway, it'll probably be a very nice, lovely group of people, and I hope I can just, I don't know, help somehow. Anyway, I'm just a bumbling old fool. Look past me, look at the Kids Cancer Project. So in the sticky post there's links to the charity if anybody was so inclined. But yeah, when I'm down at the Gold Coast I'll try and find something fun, amusing to do, because I think part of what I'm doing is practicing streaming. So at the end of the year I'm going to walk from Brisbane to Melbourne. It's going to take me 10 weeks. It's continuous walking, no help, no support, sleeping rough. So I'll be looking for places to sleep in parks and under bridges and all of that. And it's just recreating an adventure I had as a child where I discovered hope. I left a bad domestic situation, and I needed that again in my life after a fight with stage 4 cancer. So I'm trying to rebuild that, recreate that, and that's leaving on the 26th of December. So today I'm just practicing for that. All of these streams are just preparing for that and promoting the charity, Captain Australia's Big Walk for the Kids Cancer Project. And I want to get it right. I want to, like, part of it, it's a living diary for my kids if the cancer came back to me. I want to have this, create this great story for them so that they, as they age, they might even come back to it as adults and go, look, oh geez, that's who my dad was. So there's that, there's furthering my own healing, and most importantly there's helping the charity, so trying to raise money for pediatric cancer research. So that's what I'm all about, and I'm just really a bumbling old fool doing it all by myself. So you'll have to forgive my strangeness, and maybe just take it in the belief that I might not be mental, and that it's all meant in good spirit. It's meant to be fun and helpful and hopeful and optimistic. Anyway, train's coming, I think. No, this isn't my train. How long have we got? Another 10 minutes or so. But I'm just going to cover old grand, Captain Australia, da-doy. I'm going to cover old ground and bore you senseless. So yeah, when I get down there, next time I stream, you'll be able to see the beautiful ocean at the beautiful Gold Coast, and I'll have another chat then. So all the best, not Captain Australia, Simon, signing out. Cheers. Wait. What's finish? G'day, this is Simon. So I'm at the Gold Coast. A few things to report. Sorry, this is Captain Australia. So I came down primarily to meet with these oncology mums who just randomly invited me down to say good day, and it was so instructive and illuminating, and I mean, they're just such lovely people dealing with such difficult challenges. I mean, pediatric cancer, I wasn't directly affected by pediatric cancer. It's just a charity that I feel is vitally important. But these people, they live and breathe it. So it's allowed me to put a concrete face on why I'm supporting this particular charity. So these mums breathe it day in, day out. And the Kids Cancer Project, it's all about solving the ultimate riddle scientifically. Gentlemen, how you doing? How are you fellas? Blokes having a chill out, having a bit of a giggle at me, which you do. So yeah, I'm at the Gold Coast. I spent a couple of hours with these mums talking about the difficulties of pediatric cancer. Ironically, I was able to hand out a few hugs. I don't know if they were illegal or legal hugs, but certainly got a few, not 100 though. So my daily dare of doom to give 100 hugs, I just don't think it's viable. It's technically a criminal act. So I met these oncology mums, basically families directly affected by pediatric cancer. They either have a sick child or children, or have lost their child or children to pediatric cancer. And it helped me to put a concrete face on the charity, which to now I've been aware that it's children with names. These 950 Aussie kids diagnosed every year. The 20% that die during treatment, they all have names, and I've been able to imagine their faces, but now I have a real concrete set of stories, and it's all private. It's locked away in the vault. It's not, I'm sorry, it's not for you. These mums, you know, facing up to a child with cancer, the courage that you'd have to have, I think it would wreck me as a human being. If, well, just straight up cancer wrecked me as a human being. So the idea of facing up to pediatric cancer, I don't think I have the strength or the tools. But anyway, it was a wonderful opportunity to meet these people, and I want to do everything I can to help them, which in the first instance is just continuing to try and drum up support for the Kids Cancer Project, whose mission is to solve pediatric cancer in our lifetimes. Cancer, candidly cancer. I've been all about them cancers, yo, today. Had a few giggles though. Oh, wonderful. On the way to the meeting, I get a lady pulls over, beeps, hey, comes over and says hello. Her name was Debbie, and what a wonderful human. She donated $5,000 to the Kids Cancer Project. Bang, there by the side of the road. we both had a little cry, to be honest. So we had a talk about everything, and she just showed such kindness and grace and decency. I mean, money is just money at the end of the day. Money equates to power, choice. So by committing that money, it's like $50 buys one research hour. So she bought, 100 research hours towards solving pediatric cancer, and that's great. Money is power, but what she gave was her kindness and her decency, and that is so nourishing. And I think that it's not just to me, it's to the world, People like that are better for the world. Anyway, that was a lovely encounter. The time spent with the oncology mums was lovely, and now I'm just walking down to Broadbeach. So I'm up somewhere. I've walked about 16k so far today. I think by the end of the day I'll have walked about 40, and that's going to be about average for my big walk, I reckon. Goal will be 30 or 40 kilometers a day, and it's easy. I think I've reached my level where 40k is just a walk. It's no longer a slog. So when I first did that Wellington Point walk, which is 30 k's to get there and 30 k's back, that was tough. I had to reach into myself to get home. Reach into myself, that sounds gross. But I did it, and it was good. And the walk to the Gold Coast, that was really tough. By the end, I was wrecked. Very sore, blisters everywhere. But now, I think I've reached, that's helped me to elevate to a new normal in terms of what I'm able to do physically, which is good. Like, rewind 10 months ago, crippled, stage 4 cancer, thyroid wrecked by radiation. I weighed 140 kilos, and in that is something for you, and it's hope. Because I'm just this old buffhead, I have this weird, unique way of doing my thing, but you have a thing for you, or someone in your life who is broken and has no hope. There's a recipe for them, and you can find it, and you can just turn the whole ship around. Spontaneous, sudden, or maybe not sudden, but rapid vitality and improvement. Like, my list of medical conditions is pretty severe. The cramps, by the way, sorry, I had an adverse reaction to the vaccine, and I've been getting nocturnal cramps for the last 4 nights. 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m, horrible, severe cramps. Had to have a special scan to exclude DVT. Coming along good. I think the walking really, really helps on so many different levels. So, if you're suffering, if you're struggling with something, hey, take a walk, buddy. Think about it. So the Gold Coast, I'm getting some stares. G'day. Getting some looks. It's nice to be near the ocean, but this is more of a bay. So it's not as, whoosh. The ocean's lovely and spiritual when you got those waves and the sound of them. So it's somehow relaxing and nourishing at the same time. Anyway, I'm mindful that in these streams, I don't know, I need to entertain somehow, I guess. I need to, I don't know, teach. I need to offer something of value. Otherwise it's just a diary of me and my walk, and maybe that's all it needs to be anyway. Maybe the other aspirations are less important, It's about supporting the charity. I'm a walking billboard for that, you can see. Can you see that? Yeah. The Kids Cancer Project. So that's a walking billboard, all good. So maybe all I need to do is just diarise it. These daily donor dares of doom, hug 100 people. What a mess. Got my head ripped off for that one. I hadn't even really thought about the COVID dimension. I've had one of my vaccinations, and I just, consenting adults, how can it be illegal to hug? But hugs have been criminalised. And look, where you sit on, the problem with our society now is you can't trust any given source of information. Everything is vested. I found when researching my own cancer, challenges in figuring out what to do. Should I have a peg feeding tube inserted or not? All of these things that I needed to research throughout the process, and yet the information is all contaminated by a corporate bias, which it just, you can't trust exactly anything you come across. And that relates to the dilemma of the day, COVID as well. You know, I mean, these vaccine companies, what, Pfizer, Biotech, or whatever they are, they're not doing their work for free. That's it. And I don't know, my concern is, if we were building consensus and talking truth, we could figure out what is the best and smartest thing to do and trust each other in the advice. But we can't, and that's crippling. So, you know, when someone says to you, you know, vaccination is the pathway out of this, I got vaccinated out of respect for you. I'm not concerned myself about getting sick. I feel I rolled my dice with the stage 4 cancer and I got lucky, you know, dying of a flu or COVID or, you know, snake bite during the big walk, or, you know, any other sort of accident or misadventure. I'm just not, I feel as though I have a new lease on life, so I'm not worried, I'm not afraid. But I got vaccinated out of respect for you. I don't want anybody to be afraid of me or feel that I'm a risk or a hazard. I want to honour and respect, you know, you as the human. And the public health directives are just, they translate to that. I have to trust them that the science is right and it's all good. But yeah, you can't truly trust any source of information, which is really troubling. I don't know how to get around that. The idea for me that worries me a little is that ultimately vaccination undermines your body's autoimmune response, you know, your natural autoimmune response. Hey, fellas. Sorry, mate. Captain Australia's Big Walk. I'm walking down to Melbourne at the end of the year.
Oh, shit.
Over 10 weeks. I'm a cancer survivor myself. Long bloody story. Yeah. So I needed to walk for my own healing, but then I figured I'll do it, dress up and do it for charity.
So you come from the coast to Melbourne?
I have walked from Brisbane down to the coast a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving for Melbourne until the 26th of December, so I'm just doing a lot of practice, walking around and live streaming actually at the moment too. So I'm practicing all of that stuff, and yeah, it's the 26th of December that I'll actually set up for Melbourne.
I'll have to give you a follow on Facebook. Man.
Yeah, cool, man. It's at Cap's Big Walk, buddy, if you do.
Yeah, we'll do. No worries.
Cheers, bro.
Good luck, man.
Take care of yourselves. I just fist bumped that dude. Why did I fist bump that dude? He seemed like a lovely young bloke. I fist bumped my sons. I think fist bump, there's an age limit on fist bumping, and I'm probably well past it anyway. Anyway, sorry, I interrupt you. You are important, and my conversation with you is important. But yeah, the idea of not being able to trust information, I think, is quite crippling. Because at the end of the day, so many of us just want to do our best, and then we get dragged into arguments because we've been fed different information about what best looks like. But the underlying human ethic that drives 90% of us even is to just do your bloody best. So somewhere we've managed to get into this sort of organic, accidental muddle up that makes it harder to figure out what to do. Anyway, going under trees there. But yeah, the idea, like when my middle son Sullivan was young, he got sick a bit, and the doctor kept prescribing antibiotics. It doesn't parallel directly to vaccination, but it's the same concept. So the antibiotics that he got all the time helped him recover from these sicknesses. They were, at the time, it was only just coming out that, you know, whether an infection is viral or bacterial, antibiotics may or may not be useful. It's one context, not the other. So he was overprescribed antibiotics, and I think his natural autoimmune response was, you know, I won't go so far as to say immunocompromised, but it was like for a year or more he was immunodepressed. He'd been so sick and relied on the medication to keep him well that his own body's health response was not robust enough. So he kept getting sick. And I saw a study that it was, I think, in Melbourne. They were saying that a lot of people were getting knocked over by a particularly virulent flu. The idea was that there's a level of, I don't know what the right word is. You know, I'm not a scientist, I'm just an idiot, and I'm not trying to give information, just articulate my concern. And it's this immunorobustness, you know, this ability of the body to just fight naturally occurring or artificially made pathogens. Anyway, I'll be fully vaxxed when I take my big walk, so nothing to worry about there. But yeah, it's a funny old world that we have to decipher information, you know. Maybe it's a good thing that we don't just, you know, take everything as it's fed to us like good Nazis. It's incumbent on us to research and figure out what right looks like. Anyway, these streams, so it's just me talking to the universe really, and I'm just an old fool. So as a disclaimer, if I say anything that bothers you, I'm sorry. You know, I don't mean to do that, but I'm honest. And if I say anything stupid, I'm honestly stupid. You know what I mean? So the thing is, I'm happy to take education. But yeah, anyway, quick report. So I got that lovely Debbie pulled over by the roadside, donated $5,000 to charity, which I cried like a little baby. There's your superhero moment for you. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, wow, I've been looking for something to donate to. It's like, wow, oh yeah, I'm gonna donate $5 grand. And I'm like, what? And I lost my power of speech. I looked down at my boots, I turned around, and then I just started crying. I barely cried through cancer treatment. Only when I had to tell my wife that I was sick did I cry, you know. In the deep moments of the night, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, you know, look, after chemotherapy, I'm either more in touch with or less in control of my emotions, depending on how you look at things. I think it's good to be emotionally free. It's good to have a cry. You know, some people say that's weak. It's weakness, it's self-indulgence. But it's not. Feel what you feel, and don't be ashamed of what you feel. If you're anxious, if you're suffering from a feeling that is like limiting you or crippling you, like anxiety or depression or whatever, don't be ashamed of it. It's part of who you are. Figure it out. If it's detrimental to your health, talk to people, get help to solve it, you know. Don't be ashamed of how you feel. And if you're a bloke and you're watching, I don't know, Sleepless in Seattle or something, and you want to have a cry, well, honestly, you're lame. in that scenario, man, I'm not with you at all. But if your child does something that you are so proud of that you tear up, roll with it, buddy. Have a good old cry. It's good for you. Anyway, so I've decided these streams, I'm just gonna do my best and just be me. Bumbling old fool talking to the camera. So I'm not going to make any attempt to specifically entertain you unless I get a daily donor dare of doom. So anyone who donates more than $50 is allowed to make a dare. I've had a few and they've all been train wrecks. All had something that just skipped down the middle of the Queen Street Mall. That was terrible. Song You Are playlist, that was bad. Run Fatty Run, that was bad. And to give 100 hugs could attract me $130,000 in fines. So I won't do. I get an out if something is criminal, immoral, or hurtful. You know, just ethically wrong. Don't want to do it. It's all in the spirit of good fun. So if you want something entertaining, I'm your walking Netflix baby, but you gotta take control of the program. Beep. There you go. $50 capped in Australia. Now try and stand on your head. Don't make me do that, please. But, you know, I get a dare, your dare, my doom, off we go. Until then, I'm just going to chat. So, I'm walking down the main drag at the Gold Coast, headed towards Southport and onward to Broadbeach. I think I'll go down onto the beach, take my boots off and, you know, walk in the ocean a little bit maybe. That'll be a good chance to do one of those point of view streams. So I might hang up for now and later on I'll do a little stream when we're down the Gold Coast. Oh, over there is SeaWorld. I don't know if you can... where are we? Oh, it's too glary and small. SeaWorld, I don't know, I don't see the roller coasters moving. Don't know what the deal is with COVID closures and all that sort of stuff, how the theme parks are doing. But I went there as a teenager. Loved it. Rode the whirly roller coaster like 8 times in a row. Anyway, I will kill the stream there. and I'll try another over the shoulder one when I get down to the main beach. Thank you for your interest. This is all one old man's rambling. However, it is to good purpose. It's for the Kids Cancer Project. It's called, if you don't know what this is about, it's Captain Australia's Big Walk, where I, the home brand buffhead superhero Captain Australia, who is not actually super, whose powers include falling down when I get hit, crying if I step on glass, all of that sort of stuff. I'm going to walk from Brisbane to Melbourne on the 26th of December. It's to show commitment and to attract attention to that worthy charity, the Kids Cancer Project. So if you can find it in your heart to donate, there's a sticky post. If it has Raisley in the URL, that's their page. So the Kids Cancer Project handle that. Your donation goes directly to the charity. You'll get a tax deductible receipt and all the usual bizzo. And if you do that, thank you so much. Appreciate your kindness. And I'll sign out for now, and later on we'll do one of these over the shoulder thingamabobs when we're down on the beach. Ooh, what happens if there's like sexy sunbakers and stuff? Am I on the, yeah. Does that make me a bit like pervo if I'm walking around with the camera over the shoulder? I suppose it does. I don't know, we'll solve that problem when we get there. Okay, alright, signing out, all the best. G'day, Simon here. Look, this is just a quick update. I'm really sorry if anybody was keen to see the ocean like I said I was going to do. I had intended to walk around for several hours down here at the Gold Coast and maybe dip my toes in the ocean, but I met this guy, Damo, in the park. He calls me over and alerts me to the fact that I appear to have some kind of flag strapped to my back. And I've just been sitting for 2.5 hours or more chatting to this guy. So it's been quite a talky day. He's a funny character. I feel alive in a way that I have not been for a long time. So my fight with cancer, 5 years, you know, what a mess. But yeah, I'm able to just sort of hang out in the park like an old Dero, and yeah, I almost feel like we should have grabbed a bottle and wandered down to the beach, and that's the kind of stuff teenagers do. And isn't that great that you can go from being a broken down old fool to capable of just teenagering up? Anyway, I'm sorry I did not get to show you the ocean as planned, and I spent the day talking to these oncology mums, which is not something that I can really share with you at all. I approached them and their privacy with a level of reverence. So, Captain Australia's Big Walk, boring. Should call it Captain Australia's Big Uber, I think. Now I'm just going to head home. I don't know if I'll get home in time to hug the kids, but I can kiss them while they're asleep, which might sound creepy. I've got music going in my ear for some reason, so apologies. I'm a bit confused and distracted. I just wanted to apologise to anybody who had planned to see me wander down the middle of the Broad Beach, Biggity Beach. I feel as I've almost had a beer. I've just been chatting to Damo, and that's it. A couple of hours. Random person, park bench, very, very funny chats. And now I'm going to sign off. All the best, everybody. I'll come down to the Gold Coast again and have a wander around and try and meet more people. Have a lovely evening.